this is always the first few words are just like, what am I doing? And this is sticking with it, This is sticking with it. I try to talk myself out of it all the time, especially when I get high. Whenever I get high, I get real guilty, I always find that that's a good temperature to have, like if when I'm trying to base off how high, from zero, from being able to walk into a building of people to, I need to play video games. Because when I'm really high, there's like two things that I could do. And one of them is play video games, and the other you could guess for yourself. But, I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know. I think what I'm getting at is that I am a little high right now. I don't know what I really was trying to say. But hey, I tried to get a job at arirang today. I figured, see some other culture, It's the closest restaurant to my house, and honestly, I'm just not making enough money delivering, and I just was like, hey, let's get a different job. It's great. It's such a great job, and I don't have any complaints about it at all, besides the fact that it's by myself most of the time, which means I get to listen to any podcast I want, or birds on tape. Sometimes I listen to sleep noises and just try to fight the pain on that. Just put some sleep noises on and see if I could try and stay up, try and trick myself into, hypnosion. It doesn't really work that way, and I don't think that that's how that works anyway, but, these are things that we said. I went to the gym today. I tried to, yeah. No, well, that's skipping from one story to the next, but I guess I'm just going to go with it, I did the last one the other night when I was I don't know. You probably didn't see it. I saw it because I did it. I was there, actually. Yeah, I did that last little bit. You could see in the dark. I think I'm going to make it a nighttime thing. I think it's better, I think I started this when I had more time, and now I have less time. But like I said, sticking with it, we're sticking with it. I'm trying to trick myself into it. I think that there's two people fighting, and one of them knows the smarter decisions to make and tries to just constantly tell the other person these things. But then, Tally, I'm like, hey, let's go get high, and then I go get high, and then I feel guilty, and that's what I was saying before that I didn't finish in the first part. That's how high I am. If I don't feel guilty, if I'm not scared to walk into a room and talk to people, I guess I did wrap this up because I said there's only two things I could do, and you got that right. I went over to my mom's house for dinner once, and I literally said that to her. I was like, I am too high right now, I got way high. I thought I was just going to sit home and play video games, and I've been mistakenly doing that a whole bunch to myself. I did that the other night when I didn't realize I was going to leave my house. I thought I was just going to be able to sit home and play video games, and then the house had to be left to go do God knows what, and yeah. Was really high. Investigate Delta 8s. Really, let's take a look. Let's take a long, hard look at what are Delta 8s. And here's the thing, they're so cheap. They're $20. It's literally $20. And I have no money for weed because I have not a lot of money. And that's why we're looking for a different job. That's why we went to arirang today to see if maybe I could get a job serving there. And the guy was pretty, it was an interesting thing to do, I feel I was like, let's do it. I've been thinking about it for a while. I really want to serve somewhere, I think, again. But maybe I don't, maybe I just want a runner position, because the thing about the delivery job is I get out at 8 sometimes. I work 3 to 8, which is kind of perfect because I get a couple hours in the middle and then I get a couple hours at the end to just dilly-dally about, pretty much look at nothing, Still went to sleep at 11. My teacher told me today that he gets 4 hours of sleep. He said this is my part-time job and I work 40 hours. And that was a terrible black guy voice, but hey, I did it anyway. Maybe it's Morgan Freeman. Fuck it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this really isn't real life at this point anymore, And that's why it's like I think I really just have to continue doing this. And, there's really no point, but there really isn't no point. It's like either I could do it or I couldn't do it. And which is the dumber option? I think the dumber option is not doing it. I think sometimes I say clever things. I think a few times of the day I can say clever things, And that's weird. I was thinking about that today. Like, there were a couple things that I had in my head, and, like, I didn't throw them out there, I was a little hesitant on throwing them out there. And most of the time, I like to just fire, That's not true at all. It depends, who's around and how they're reacting to whatever I'm saying. If people are just like, shut up, Alec, then I shut up. But I think I've just been, like, firing off more. And I don't really care, If I think it's funny, we're going to say it. That's at least what I try to do, Now, I found myself today, like, because there's so many different people that I have to see. So I really have no idea who we're going to see. And this is, like, the 8th episode this is the 6th episode that I've recorded. Every single time I forget to count the time. I don't want to do super long because I want to go to bed, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But, I just kind of want to do it, and do some more. And I know that that's just not really talking about anything in particularly. But, I'm just rattling off a few words, But, yeah, I feel like I could say a few things clever in a row sometimes. I think I get people, once in a while I hear a chuckle. And sometimes I have to say just, like, the worst thing possible, which is, funny sometimes. But, like, you don't like to do that, You don't like to do that. See, I'm really high right now because I'm psychoanalyzing anything, and I don't even know if that's a word. We just kind of spitball, really. We really do wing it 99% of the time. That's something I've noticed. And here's the thing. Like, I just try to play it by, like, hey, I could show up, like, that's, like, 90% of, like, my philosophy on things. I could show up, and if I could show up, I could, like, wing it, because I'm at least there, Other motherfuckers ain't even there, I show up, I make it happen, and that's one of the rare things I can do is show up. Don't ask me to do a whole lot of, like, thinking, I could do a bit, but I prefer not to. I prefer to not exercise that muscle. I prefer to just stretch out. There was a bad thing on the end of that one, but hey, that's why I've been screening them a little more, like, I kind of, like, check them. I'm like, what is going to pop out here? I listen to it in my head before I say it out loud, which is crazy, because I should just be saying it out loud. But, that's tough. When you're high, you have, like, 8 different people in your head, and 4 of them are like, you're a bad boy, get in your cage, and that's literally what they're saying. They're like, you're not supposed to be out here. What are you doing? Run home now. And, yeah, no, I understand. I fully understand, But then there's, like, 2 of me that, like, see, here's the thing. I try to, like, write things down, not really write things down because that's a lie. But, like, I'm talking metaphorically. I like to write things down. Like, I like to pass myself notes in a sense. When I'm focused during the day and clear-minded, I like to, relatively, not all the way, which is something that's crazy, if you think about how often I'm doing something, I'm involved with something, I'm always looking for the next thing to get involved in. And that's why I think the gym is so good, because it's something I could get involved in where I can't even get involved in anything else, like, I have to just kind of, like, be like, okay, but it just feels so good. That's what's crazy about it, like, and we're very short into, like, going to the gym, it's never really a thing that I thought would ever happen, but, like, now that it's happened, it's like, why did you never do this, like, your whole life? You just kind of put this off, And it's like, I feel like I just put like everything off. For sure. I mean, what is this? What are we confessing today? We're literally confessing. Yeah, we put things off. Big time. And I think that's, I don't know. I dropped my Xbox controller in a bucket of ice water the other day. I'm trying to do a good thing. I'm trying to ice up my ankles, because I really want my ankles to be good. Because I think, here's the backup plan. If I continually fail, I think I'll eventually join the Army, or something like that. Maybe an Air Force pilot and just crash the plane into the side of something. That's not what I'm going to do. Not at all, because, you don't know what happens after you die. That's the biggest thing. But, don't joke about that. So I made a face, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think if everything like continually, here's the thing, it's like playing a connect the dots game, because I just try to go forward. And I feel like when I try to speak, I try not to be long-winded. And I know that's the opposite of what this is, but I think I like to get in and out. Put something, get it out there, let somebody else say something. And like sometimes I'll just like make little comments while somebody says something as like a backup speaker. And I think that's more fun, honestly, for me to do sometimes. And I know that I like to say that, but I do. It's a really weird position I'm in because I feel like an outgoing, ingoing person. Sometimes I really like people. Sometimes I don't really like people. And I think this is a lot of people. I think that's not really a non-popular position. I think we're all a bunch of like anxiety-ridden people that behave differently according to which way the wind's blowing, But well, that really devolved, I've just thrown like all kinds of things out, and I'm looking at a speck over there on the wall, and it looks like it could be a spider. And here's the thing, I don't want it to be a spider, but if it was going to be a spider, at least it's not like a cider. Dude, let me tell you, what are the Delta 8s, cuz? Does anybody know? I need to know. And here's the thing, I heard some sketchy man talking about, Delta 8, this is marijuana. That's exactly what he sounded like, exactly. He had a mustache and a monocle. He had all kinds of things going on. He had all kinds of things going on. What kind of things do you have going on, Let's ask, and go ahead, feel free to, answer, whatever you feel like. Because, yeah, again, we just try to go forward. We're not trying to go backwards. That's for damn straight. I don't know. But yeah, I tried to apply at arirang, and they just were like, nah, basically. I mean, what do you want me to say about that besides that? I went in yesterday, and the guy's like, I'm Johnny on the spot. And I said, what's up, Johnny? I'm a bit of a Johnny myself, So it's nice to meet a fellow Johnny at such an establishment. Now I show up the next day. He goes, hey, show up the next day. I said, all right, I'll show up the next day, which was today. So I went in, I said, hey, whoa, let me write on this paper. And then he comes up and he says, no can do, buddy. I've been sat down for half an hour, guy. I've been writing on this paper for half an hour. I swear to God, cuz. How many times did he walk past me? I don't know, because I was trying to fill out the fucking paper. And I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Excuse my language and excuse the Delta 8s. We're definitely in outgoing, ingoing person. See, now the breeze came this way, so I remembered what I was saying earlier about that, before I went on a tangent, because I think that's what we do a lot. We go off on tangents, and then we don't know how to find our way back because there's nobody here to say something in response to this. See, if somebody responded to some of this stuff, it could just keep going. It would never go back. There'd be no reason to go back. But I can't just, speak in nonsense the whole time. So, I have to, maybe talk about some stuff, and I get it. 99% of this is nonsense. But, hey, you got to go back, flip it around a couple times and get back to what I was talking about. I saw Joe this weekend. Yeah. I saw Joe this weekend. And I said to him, he was wearing a striped shirt, and I was like, apparently, I didn't say it when I was sober, because, I don't know, they're different people. Like I say, I try to write notes down to pass to that guy so he remembers them, but he never remembers them, I literally try to write notes down. That's what I'm going to have to do, keep some flashcards in my pocket, because I just try to, tell myself, and that's not working. I clearly need to try to be more effective. I'm going to write some flashcards down of things I hope to continue whenever I go out drinking. Whenever I go out drinking, I will put index cards in my pockets. Alec, do not go home early. Every time. Every time I get wasted, I sneak off and I call an Uber home and I tell no one. And it's the scariest thing ever. And it's just I always am all right, don't do it. But, at the same time, whenever I'm drunk, the last thing I want to be doing is chilling at the bar, because that place sucks. If you want my honest opinion on how I feel about it, I'm not a big fan, I'm a big fan of all the people I'm with. I enjoy the people, but it's sometimes, or all the times you're at a place which is just packed. It's packed. You can't move really. You can't do a whole lot of moving around. Because when there's a lot of music going on, I could throw out some dance moves. And I will be known to throw out some dance moves. Now, my mother can vouch for me. Give my mother a call. But they're packed. And it's just, there's no reason. There's no reason for it. I mean, there is plenty of reasons for it. It's because everybody's getting wasted. I'm sat down at dinner with my loving father, and we're just talking about the good old days. In my day, 20 cents was a can of gas, and they're just talking about how, everything was cheap when we were kids. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's expensive now. That's pretty fucking funny, huh? But this is why I wanted to get high, because sometimes it's just who knows what's gonna happen. It really is. It's always a grab bag, though. That's the thing. I really wonder who's in control most of the time, because it's such a grab bag. Thankfully none of the personalities are harm people. Is that crazy to say? That's definitely crazy to say. But, they're all very peaceful, One of them's just very scared, One of them is scared of all of humanity and just wants to, sit over here and play video games, listen to my podcasts and play video games and look at the trees and go, oh, that's nice outside today. And that's definitely one of them. And then there's just a kind of a whole slew of just all kinds of other, things that'll show up to the table, That's why it's is this me or am I watching this? And I think about that all the time. Excuse me. And I guess that's good, because sometimes I forget that. And whenever I remember that, I feel better. Whenever I'm kind of Dude, I didn't even finish the story of that inside because that made me laugh so much when I said that. But they were like, yeah, everything was cheaper back in my day. And I was like, oh, yeah, everything's expensive today. And then he goes, yeah, but we used to go down to the bar. We used to go down to Vinny's and we'd get a beer and a shot. And I go, oh, yeah. We do that. Yeah. We get beers and shots. And then it clicked. Everything has changed. You used to, this guy told me, he said that we didn't have power braking. And, I'm not really a car guy, so I don't really know exactly what that means, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But it sounds to me like they had worse brakes. Now, I know people that have gotten into many crashes with their cars. I have a friend or, I know this guy who, he'll actively look for the accident, here's the thing, most of the time I feel like we're faced with, near-miss situations. I feel like everybody has, about 4 or 5 a week or something, I guarantee you've had one, and I think we all kind of have a bunch of near-miss situations, because here's the thing, we're all, one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on God knows what. You could be doing any number of things. Me, myself, I'm probably, and this is what I actually do a bunch, is reaching over, grabbing some sunflower seeds with a water bottle in my hand. So I have the knee up, and I'm getting the sunflower seeds. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot is what I'm saying, And, sometimes there's a lot of things. We're all distracted. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, but they were telling me. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying, that we're going to do another circle for you because I got lost there. Okay? It would help to write some things down because we wouldn't get lost so often. But yeah, no, he goes, we didn't have power braking. The car was $5 and I didn't have power braking. I just thought that was really funny because, yeah, like I say, I know so many people that can't even be held accountable for an automobile. Oh, yeah. That's where I was going. Dude, I didn't finish that, and I just flirted with it. I went there, I knew exactly where I was going, and dodged the bullet. And I don't know where it went. But, he'll just be in, all these, the average person's in 4 to 5 near misses, I feel like, a week. Instead of, and 99% of the time, I feel like at least you just miss the car, I almost hit this guy, but you don't. You don't because you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot, you miss it. Now, this fella that I know, he doesn't miss, He thinks, okay, well, there's 2 ways that this could go. And he goes, I'm going to hit the car. I'm already here, you're like, oh, geez, am I going to hit the car? At that's the first thought that flashes through your mind. And you go, phew, didn't hit the car. He goes, oh, geez, am I going to hit the car? Yeah, I hit the car. And it's just normal people, you miss. You go on about your day. You're like, oh, jeez. He's like, well, guess I hit the car. We're sitting here now. Maybe I'm going to go get high, So it's just imagine some of these guys who can't even drive an automobile today, where the cars will literally, dude, I hopped out of my car the other day, didn't put it in park. Because I've been doing delivering, I kind of just put it in park and I get out of the car. I don't turn the car off because then I got to do the whole music thing over again. Instead, I could just hit pause, park the car. Whatever the car's going to do, the car's going to do. I have faith in my car. I feel like it'll figure it out. I have a lot of faith in my car. It hasn't failed me yet. And until it does, I have faith in it. I think it's doing a good job and it knows what's going on. I don't go hard on her. I give her gas, even though it's $40 now. It's like, geez, guy, come on. You're going to screw me here too, huh? What's going on? Yeah, but imagine whatever the fuck you want to imagine. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I'm just a guy in a chair who's high. That's a joke, I don't get high. I get high off book reading, and I get runner's high, because that's a real thing, by the way. Which the only problem is, if you have a bad ankle, you can't get high, and that's like, geez, I wish I could have some running. I don't know if you've ever felt that before, but like, I literally, sometimes I'm like, oh, man, I could go for a fucking run. I could go for a run right now. Like, there's nothing sometimes that you want more than to go for that run. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where that came from, because it was not in this version of Alec. I think that he's updated the system a whole 1,000 times, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But the system has been updated so many times. So many times. Shout out to Jenkinson's, the best boardwalk in the whole world. That was a great place. That was a great place. I had a lot of fun. I used to do this mic thing. I would hold the mic on like the water gun game and yell at people, and it was so much fun. And I did a lot of terrible things there, and I also maybe had sexual relations with, one of the male workers, dishwashers, whatever. It happens, Sometimes you're just like, man, I could go for a run. And then, there's a guy washing the dishes, and you're like, oh, man, I wish I could just go for a run, but my ankle hurts. And, the guy's washing the dishes, and, such is life, really. It's crazy. I bought a heavy bag, and it immediately messed up my wrist. I think I've probably complained about my wrist. I even wore a wrist brace on one of these episodes, but I think I've complained about my wrist on every one of these episodes so far. And it hurts, It's just something that fucking hurts. And I've been going full lefty squirreling. I've been, it's winter, and we're getting some nuts with the left hand. I just really found the most creative way to say jerk off. I think it's just funny if you just try to like put as many words around it as possible to make it sound like you're not talking about things. Like, literally at the place where I do things that are like working. And that was one of those right there. But like, like if you're listening, you probably know what I said, but you got to do a little bit of guessing. Like, I could probably tell you that that's not what I said if I really wanted to. But, we wouldn't debate this either way, because you don't get to say anything. This is a one-way, street here. I wish it was a two-way street. I'd love to, talk to someone, but I guess it's also nice to have a chat with myself, see what's going on. Like if you had like a take a shot every time Alex says something, a little over the top, you'd probably have like 3 shots, at this point. Nothing crazy. But there was definitely 2, and, there's probably throw a third one in there of things that, it's like whatever. But we just kind of do it, Didn't write anything down again. And, I really think I should go to bed. But we're going to do a little more because I said so, and it's goddamn Tuesday. Wow. Tuesday, October 19th. What a fabulous day to do a podcast. What a fabulous day to sit down with, Halloween decorations across from my view. It's really great. There's this guy that he doesn't really live on my street. It's like a couple streets away. You gotta, dude, there is I'm not going to use the real name, but there is a street called Raccoon Road near me. And the other day, there was a real raccoon killed on it. And I was like, this is hilarious. Because I always pass by Raccoon Road, and it's kind of like this sneaky alleyway. Like, think about a road that you're like, who put this here, you know? You're not really sure. Like, you've never seen a cop on it because you don't even know if they know about it. You know, it's just one of those roads hiding at the end of a bunch of other roads. You know, because that's really what it is, you know? And I live for that, really. You know, those mystery turns that you only really see, you know. And here's another thing that's happening in my area. What is going on in your area? Brought to you by the news. I've got to have it. Yeah. Westfield is where I guess I didn't have to say the name of the town. I think I've probably said the name of like 85 towns that are like right by me at this point, though, you know? And I'm honestly just thinking about the fact that I slammed my hand on the desk and now my thumb hurts, you know? But it doesn't hurt. It's just like one of those things, you know? But I think about that all the time whenever I hit a finger because I'm like, what is in the finger, you know? Like, there's just like a little bit there. There really is just a little bit there. And it's like, if you just come up on the end of that, you know, there's the bone right there. And yeah. And nobody said anything weird to me in the sauna today, which is great. There's always dudes saying weird things in the sauna. This guy was scrolling his TikTok. I said I wasn't going to talk about this. I told myself, don't talk about it. But, you know, it's like a meeting, you know. It's a pretty civilized meeting, honestly. You know, but I don't really know. The voting is off. You know, it's a civilized meeting of like a couple different ideas, and then the voting never turns out how I thought it would. If I'm going to be honest, that's what's going on in the brain channels of my mind. But yeah, where was I going with that? Excuse me. We're really going to have to call this like, where was I going with that or something? Because just about like 5 of this has made sense. And now we're throwing numbers into the mix. Dude, this guy said, you know what? That's great that nobody said anything weird in the sauna, but this guy did say something weird today. You know, the gym is always an interesting experience because it's like a bunch of people that I see all the time that like sometimes I say things to them. And, you know, what I said, like I just kind of treat everybody like the same, like you're almost the same person because I'm so tired of like having to go through like new people that I just like pretend that they're all the same person at this point. I think it's really like it's fixed a lot of issues, you know, I think. I don't know. It just makes sense to me because it's just like I'm going to introduce myself to you. Let's just, you know, get on with it. And I just realized that I was talking about Joe and his striped shirt before, and I didn't finish that off, you know. I said something, and then I went on a tangent, and now I just lost wherever I was. But we're going to finish the Joe striped shirt thing, because I just remembered that I talked about it but didn't finish it, which is crazy that I remembered that I didn't finish the story, but, you know, and it's not even important. I don't think that even works. Like, why am I even going to go back? But, like, you know, it's not like you remember. You're like, oh, yeah, Joe with the striped shirt. Yeah, but I just told him that he always wears a striped shirt. Oh, because I started talking about how I act when I'm drunk, which is crazy. But, you know, I said to him, I was like, man, do you only own striped shirts? And he goes to me, you said that to me last time I saw you. You know, and I think I tried to say it funnier than that. I think I tried to make it funnier than that. You know, that's basically what I said, but I think I put it like with some words, you know, around it, you know, to make it sound like more friendly. But like, you know, that was what I wanted to say, so I said it. You know, so He said, "You always say that to me." And I thought that was hilarious, dude. I thought that was hilarious. Dude, I have a serious problem with so many people I know. Like, I'm not like that anymore, but there was like a good time period where like I was just getting drunk. And it was bad, and we don't do that anymore. We do not do that anymore because we have to go to church on Saturday or Sunday. Sunday we go to the Church of Jesus, the Lord and Savior, Amen. But yeah. My dad offered me 2 tickets to the Giant game. And I'm kind of like, do I just go by myself at this point? But, like, I really don't even want to go to the Giant game. I'd much rather just watch every game on the TV, and not even, like, and basically just look at my phone, I think I did a really good job of that this Sunday, though, because it's like I'm literally sitting there for 7 hours, but literally the last, like, 2 hours of, well, not even the 2 hours, because, like, dinner is, like, in between the two, the middle of the 4 o'clock game, so I go upstairs at that point. If you really want to know the ins and outs. That's how the sugar's made, honey. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. I just realized that, because I had to say something else, If I don't, like, strictly stay with, like, consistently telling facts about the organized order of events, I just go off on a tangent, and then it just never makes it back to where it was. And, it's like we went back to, like, Joe talking about, like, the striped shirt, and it's like, what even, like, that wasn't even, like, you're like, Joe, you have a striped shirt. He's like, you said that last time. Loser turd. Oh, man. I don't know. That's it. We're going to keep it consistent, though. We're going to keep it consistent. That's it, though. Go Giants.